Well, hello and welcome to the GCSE Latin Preferences pages. Okay, so why pick Latin when it may seem a slightly odd subject to pick in some ways? Let me explain why. I think one, it's very well respected. So just like any other languages, it is part of the EBAC. It's one of those subjects that the government considers to be well worth studying. And so it is the same as any other language. There's always some confusion about whether Latin goes along with MFL as part of an EBAC subject, and yes, it does. I think the other reason why it's an excellent subject to pick is that one skill only gets to be practiced continually. There is no oral exam, there is no writing exam, there is no listening exam, there is just a reading side to the course. And the reason why I think this is great is that you get very good at it much quicker because you just practice one skill continually. I think another reason is that it's a really fun course. We get to read some stories in the Cambridge Latin course. That's the one that we use, and I think it's a particularly exciting course. I think the stories are good fun, and so I'd pick it because it's interesting and fun. Also, as you'll see in a minute on the next slide, there is an element of Roman civilization, and we get to look at Roman Britain. I think if you're interested in the ancient world, we get to look at that as well as just the language. And also another reason why Latin I think is particularly important and useful is that it helps greatly with your English. Some of the skills that we use to analyse Latin literature are the same as you would use in your English literature GCSE. And since 60 to 70% of words in English they come from Latin, your English vocabulary will greatly improve. Now, I've put on the bottom there that there is an entry requirement to study Latin, which is that you must have come to Latin Club. Now, I've run this before lockdown, before Christmas, and so if you've been coming to that, you are very welcome to apply. I'm starting to run it again online during lockdown. If you are seriously considering wanting to pick Latin, you will need to attend that for the rest of the year so that I can get you up to a level where starting GCSE will be easy, which is very doable in the remaining months of the year. Let me take you through then what it means then to study Latin, what the exams are like, and what the 3 exam papers are like. So paper 1 is the biggest of all of them. It's 50% of the GCSE. It's a 1.5 hour exam, and it is based on translation and comprehension mainly. There's 10% of grammar questions, but most of the exam is read a little story and answer some questions. All of the exam answers and questions are written in English. Obviously, the text that you read is in Latin, but the questions are in English, the answers are all in English. That is true for all of the exam papers. So you will read a piece of Latin, you will answer some questions, then you'll translate about 10 lines of Latin, and then you'll answer some questions on another passage, and then that's about it. There's a vocab list of just over 400 words to learn for this exam paper. It might sound like a lot, it's not. For most other GCSE courses, in terms of languages, you'll learn usually over 1,000 words. So they understand that 400 is a manageable number. Paper 2 is literature. It's 30% of the GCSE, an hour and 15-minute exam. There are 100 lines of Latin literature to learn. We will translate them and analyse them together in class, and that is the literature that comes up. There is also a dictionary in this exam of all of the words that come up on the literature, so you're not expected to learn every single of these words. You just need to know how to understand the text and analyse it as a piece of text. It would be like reading maybe 2.5 pages of a Penguin Classic book. That's about the amount that we are looking at. It's on superstition and magic, and we get to look at witches and the death of Caesar and omens and portents and augury and some great stuff. In terms of paper 3, civilization, we get to look at Roman Britain. It's only an hour exam. It's only 20% of the GCSE. And we get to look at it. It's all in English, this one. No Latin on this exam paper. It's all the history and civilization of the people that spoke this language. And so we get to look at bits of archaeology, little bits of history, little bits of material culture. And I've given just 3 topics there. We look at Roman roads, we look at Aquae Sulis, which is Bath, the English town of Bath, and we look at some of the magnificent villas that have been left behind to us by the Romans. And there is GCSE Latin.